It's magic with attitude.
Hey, Francis, how old are you? 13. Francis, have you ever been in love?
Greetings, travelers. I am Merlin. Oh, yeah.
That's very depressing, Francis.
Well, guys, it finally happened.
It was only a matter of time.
I knew this day was coming. I just didn't know it was so soon.
It was announced this week that Poseidon's Fury, one of our favorite rides at Universal Studios, is going to close permanently.
It was so sudden. They just renovated it. What happened?
Yeah, and they just dropped this announcement out of nowhere. It wasn't even on their Instagram or any of their social media. They just announced that they would be closing this ride, and
The disrespect.
the disrespect to Poseidon's Fury and to Taylor, one of the best rides at their park.
And one of the best characters. Taylor, he's cool in my books.
As sad as a day as this is, we can't help but think about what Universal plans to do next.
We all knew that the Lost Continents days were numbered. Ever since Harry Potter sliced the land in half, it's just been slowly dying. Sinbad stopped playing shows because of Hagrid's. Harry Potter just keeps slowly just like choke holding it until it's just gone. Without Poseidon's Fury there anymore, there's only the Mythos restaurant, so it begs the question, is this the end of just the Lost Continent in general?
And as sad as it is to see the Lost Continent potentially being on its last legs, the possibility of what could be coming next is also very exciting. We do know that Universal, they've been making some big moves lately, adding new lands, new parks, and they are ready to do some great things. I'm hoping.
I'm
The
hoping.
Lost Continent. So today,
Prove us right,
prove us
Universal.
right, please.
Prove me right, boy.
So today we wanted to talk about what could possibly be coming next to the Lost Continent, and we've narrowed it down to 3 options that we think are the most likely, and we're going to be talking about these today.
Well, I don't find this surprising at all.
The first option we came up with seems to be the most natural option of what could be coming to the Lost Continent, and this is a Harry Potter expansion. It's already right there in the back, so it would make sense for that land simply to extend outwards. We could see a couple things coming here. Maybe a Quidditch pitch could be something interesting that they could throw in there, a Quidditch ride. Maybe they transform Poseidon's Fury, that whole experience, into a Chamber of Secrets ride.
It's very similar.
Yeah, it could still be a walkthrough show where you, as the guest, descend down into the Chamber of Secrets, and there's a show down there where a student fights off the basilisk or something along those lines. The possibilities are endless, but that would just be a natural step, an easy thing to do for Universal, simply to extend Harry Potter out.
Poor Lost Continent. That would just be like another knife in the back of Taylor. Be like, yeah, I know we like kind of were the cause of your demise, and guess what? That land that you have,
It's mine now.
It's mine now.
Harry Potter, he killed Taylor, he took his land. Poor Taylor.
Poor Taylor.
That's very depressing, Francis.
Next up, we probably have the most rumored and speculated IP coming into this land, and that is Legend of Zelda, which, listen, I love Taylor, but if it was Legend of Zelda, I would forgive Universal pretty quickly. I'd be like, "What? Taylor who? It's Link now."
Yeah, we know that Nintendo seems to be the next big wave of IP that Universal's been adding to all of their parks. And now, with the success of the Mario movie, outclassing even Frozen 2 as the best opening for an animated picture of all time, we know that Nintendo and Universal, I could only see them increasing their partnership and their alliance going forward.
It would be a very smart move on Universal's side.
And on Nintendo's side.
And on
It's just-
Nintendo's
It's a
side.
match made in heaven.
It is.
And let's be honest, if The Legend of Zelda, that IP that Nintendo has, if it were to fit into any of Universal's parks, Islands of Adventure makes the most sense. Epic Universe, it's going to have Mario, it's going to have Donkey Kong.
It's gonna be that.
It's more for the family,
Yeah.
more for the kids, right? Same with the Studios park. It's going to have maybe Pokemon is something people are speculating, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But Zelda, going on an adventure,
Islands of Adventure? Come on, come on.
We think if they were to do this, most likely the Zelda game that would be represented is Breath of the Wild, as it's the newest, the one that has the best sales, it's on everyone's mind. But if they wanted to go a nostalgic route, they could do Ocarina of Time, could be very likely here as well. We have a whole idea talking about how they could include Wind Waker into this park, but that's a story for another day in a completely other land.
It's on the other side of the park.
Yeah. Go watch that video. Pardon our horrible microphone and audio in that video.
We were still figuring it out.
Yeah. There are just endless possibilities of what a ride could be in a Legend of Zelda land. I mean, you could do an Attack on Hyrule Castle Dark ride, maybe a Master Cycle Zero straddle coaster. Take that, hybrids. If they just have 2 straddle coasters
Maybe
in
even
the
just
same
like
park.
the motorcycle VR ride like they were planning on doing with the broomsticks.
Oh yeah, that could be cool.
You're riding around Hyrule Field, and you have to like run away from guardians. I think that would be kind of fun.
That could be awesome. There could be a Goron minecart ride.
Yeah.
Like, that would be fantastic.
That would be fantastic.
You could do you could put a giant Sheikah tower in the land. Maybe it could be an observation deck to look over the park, or maybe if you want to go really crazy, it's like a wind seeker. And if you want to go really relaxing, you do like a flying theater over Hyrule Field and like the different locations in Hyrule, because it's a really landscape focused game, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it would be cool. Or who knows, with Tears of the Kingdom coming out and that last trailer dropping like yesterday. Ooh, there are so many possibilities. Just imagine a land themed to those sky islands in Breath of and Tears of the Kingdom. It would, chef's kiss right there.
I would like to think that if Legend of Zelda came to this land, Mythos would still be there, but the chefs would come out as Link, put a pot on your table, and just start throwing ingredients in.
And they don't speak to you either. They
No.
just kind of make eye contact and laugh a little bit.
And they go, ha ha ha!
So yeah,
Yeah,
Legend of Zelda.
that's my pick.
It's very speculative, but that would be my pick of what I would put.
We're totally not biased.
No, not at all.
Potatoes, boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Moving on to the last option. This one's a bit of a stretch, as it's unclear of who owns the rights to this right now.
Yeah.
It's kind of floating in this nebulous zone. But it's been speculated for a while as well, but a Lord of the Rings theme park would fit in perfectly with Islands of Adventure. I mean, speaking of that literary theme, I mean, what's more literary than Lord of the Rings? I mean, come on.
The most classic fantasy novel out there.
Yeah.
Like,
It would fit in perfectly with Harry Potter right next to it, and Dr. Seuss on the other side.
You mean like at Universal Studios? Cha-ching.
But again, Lord of the Rings, it's iconic. It's a series that everyone recognizes. It has some great landmarks that could make for great attractions and great icons in a themed land. I feel like creating rides would be a little more difficult for Lord of the Rings.
especially with the space that you have.
A ride that I could see making a lot of sense, that would be really cool, is a Mines of Moria walkthrough experience, or even a dark ride, however you want to do it, where they're escaping, crossing the bridge at the end, and you turn back and you see Gandalf doing his whole thing. Like, that would be awesome.
Chills.
Yeah. Except it would be a bit of a downer at the end of the
It would be a little bit of a downer.
as Gandalf dies, but that's okay.
You know he makes it out.
Yeah, so those are the 3 ideas that we think are probably the most likely. A Harry Potter expansion, Legend of Zelda, and Lord of the Rings. Some a little more speculative than others, but it's fun to think about it. But what land do you think will be coming to the Lost Continent now that Taylor is dead? Which is sad. But
It is sad.
once again, we want to reiterate that we are sad that Taylor's dying, but
Yeah.
also excited for the possibilities of what could be coming.
And if you enjoyed this video, how about you give us a little like and a subscribe?
We're definitely going to be following this closely, and who knows, our next video, we're thinking about maybe putting together a few concepts of what these lands could look like, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss that.
Yes.
And now, I only have one last thing to say.
That's very depressing, Francis.